What's been trending this week, Joe? What you got for us?
OK, we're starting with Manchester City, obviously fined over a transfer ban, instead of a transfer ban, I should say. Adebayo tweeted midweek, he said, "I demand an explanation from FIFA. You can't ban Chelsea and leave Manchester City alone for the same offence. Is the punishment fair, Smith?"
OK, can we have 60 seconds on the clock? Dan, we're going to start with you because you were jumping to get into this.
Adebayo, I'm with you. It's the same crime, should be the same punishment. I don't understand why Chelsea got the ban, and loads of other clubs have done the same thing. Seem to always get fines or get away with it, and you know, I want fairness across the board.
Joe, it's interesting though because they are slightly different, the Chelsea and the Man City
Slightly
situation.
different. I mean, it's the same offence, but I think they've committed it less times basically, and they've kind of pleaded a little bit guilty. Real Madrid have had it, Atletico, Barca, Chelsea have all had it. They've all been banned.
Is that what they said? How do you plead? A little bit guilty?
A little bit guilty, not all the way though.
The difference is the other clubs seem to be able to defer their ban, so they can always get the next transfer window and then go. Ours, I mean, they haven't allowed us to do anything.
I mean, you still managed to get Kovacic in though, 50 mil.
Well, that's because we had him on loan already.
Yeah.
Good signing, good player, and I'm happy we got him, but I would have liked the extra transfer window, especially when you lose Hazard as well.
So, Dan, I'm guessing you don't think the punishment is fair?
No, I don't.
Craig, fair or not fair?
Fair.
Fair?
Huh? Fair.
Fair. Oh, there we go. He's been outnumbered. Fair enough.
Right on the buzzer. They admit that's like life. If you admit to it, you get a lesser sentence. But you guys wanted to contest it, so
I agree.
Like that. Good first trend, Joe. What you got for the next
trend
one?
number 2 is about Celtic, who were knocked out of the Champions League midweek by Cluj. David Johnston tweeted saying, "Here's Kieran Tierney seeing Celtic's result last night. Obviously, they lost 5-4 and he's left the club." Lads, I want to know, how would Celtic do in the Premier League?
Ooh, Kamakaze, start with you.
I don't think they'd fare too well. I think they'd be a bottom half club, if I'm honest.
Ooh,
and that's based on the competitiveness of the Scottish League. That's no disrespect, but just the level I've seen.
A lot of people say Celtic, if they were there, they'd be pushing the top 6, about the sort of level that Leicester are at. You're a Leicester fan. You think Leicester would strongly finish above Celtic if they played in the same league then?
I think at the moment Leicester attract better players. And like you said, with Wolves, they do the same. So if they were thrown into the Premier League, I don't think they'd fare as well as they think.
I think the argument, though, you could make is if Celtic had Premier League money, because they've got such a big fan base, a huge stadium, I think then you would see them quickly fly up the table if they had that sort of money. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, over a period of time, potentially with that investment. But I think if you threw them in the mix now, they would not be top 10. No way. The Premier League's too fast-paced. The teams have clear philosophies. It's just a whole different level, in my opinion. I think so it wouldn't last.
So not be top 10, you're saying?
I'm saying bottom
half. Dan, what you saying?
I'd probably say fighting relegation.
Fighting relegation? Wow.
That is harsh.
Celtic fans, get involved in the show. Let us know what you think. At Sky Sports PL. Let us know. We've still got another part. We're doing questions for the guests later on. So I'll be interested to see some of them. Trend, next one. What you got?
Yeah, it's Adrian. This is actually... We're starting, though, with a tweet about Alisson Becker, who obviously was injured in the first game of the season against Norwich. This is not the real Alisson Becker, though. This is a totally different Alisson Becker.
It is the real Alisson Becker. She's verified.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a woman called Alisson Becker who is getting inundated with tweets from Liverpool fans. She just said, "Look, my calves are fine, you guys. I'm not involved in this." But then this week in the Super Cup, in the celebrations, Adrian was two-footed by a supporter and twisted his ankle in the celebration. So he's out of this weekend's game, leaving two options to pick from. Andy Lonergan, who's 35, and spent the first half of 2019 on loan at Rochdale. Or Kelleher, who is 20, never made an appearance at Liverpool, comes through the academy. Adrian and Alisson both out. Can it affect Liverpool's season?
Ooh, it's a good one, that. It's a big moment as well for another keeper. 60 seconds is on the clock. Craig, do you want to start with this one? Will the keeper crisis cost Liverpool points? What do you think?
I mean, it just depends how long Alisson Becker's out for, and Adrian, to be honest, because I think with Van Dijk there, you've got obviously the best centre-half in the world. He's really protect the keeper. Not to take anything away from Alisson Becker, but without Van Dijk there, his numbers and stats probably wouldn't look as good as they were. He got the Golden Glove, right? I believe last season.
He did, actually.
So I don't think he would have got that without Van Dijk. So I think Van Dijk will provide the cover Liverpool need and get them over the line.
Do you think Liverpool have got a deep enough squad? I've seen a lot of people kind of saying they should have recruited more going forward, given that they've only really got three standout names.
It's not as deep as it seems. When you look at a team like City, they've got like two world-class players in pretty much every position. It's not that deep, obviously. It's deep enough.
You don't think with the injuries coming back, like Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, they're like almost like new signings this season as well?
But they'll need time to kind of find their feet again. With the goalkeeper situation, I'll just go with the 35-year-old keeper, experience.
Yep,
Yeah.
Rochdale.
There you go.
No
35.
appearances for Liverpool.
Okay, there
Did
we
score
go.
for Preston North
He
End.
just scored from his own box, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Great
Just an
goal,
absolute
that.
hoof. Moving on then, trend number 4 is Zinedine Zidane, who spent the entire summer trying to flog Gareth Bale, but he's now reversed that decision, coming out publicly to say the following. He said, "The dynamics are changing, things are changing. From now on, I will rely on him as I do on others." Smithy, your top comment there. So make your mind up, mate.
Yeah, I mean, what I'd like to say is massive respect for Zinedine Zidane and all he's done as a player and a manager. A fantastic individual. I just think, I do stand by that. There were direct quotes. I followed this story very closely because I thought at one point he was coming back to Spurs, and I do think he's changed his mind a little bit, if I'm being honest. Craig, 60 seconds, we can get on the clock. Do you want to start this off? Are you surprised by this? Can he perform at his best under Zidane?
I think he can. I think Bale's just so experienced at this stage. He's basically won it all, and I think for him, he's got something to prove this season.
Yeah.
He needs to prove to not only the Real Madrid fans, but to Zidane, Perez, the president, that he's capable of delivering and filling that role that he came to do. And for me, Zidane, this is embarrassing. You can give the disclaimers about him being a legend and everything, which he is, but to come out and say what he said, he's not part of my plans, and then backtrack. It's just you've made yourself look silly.
Working football, is this common, do you think, managers change their opinion based on the transfer market?
Not this heavily.
Not this heavily.
Not this heavily. No. You can't hang him out to dry like that, say he's not part of my plans, and then expect him to want to play for you. Like, a big part of being a player is trusting that your manager has faith in you and your abilities.
Hazard's injured now, though, so I think that's also made him backtrack as well. It's like...
What would you do if you were Gareth Bale? Because obviously you're a footballer. What would you do? Would
I
you
think
go
I'd
back
have
and
the
play?
same
Would you?
options as him, but...
Or would you be on the golf course tomorrow?
No, you have to play for your manager. It's your job. I think you have the responsibility as a player and your contract and to the fans and the players around you.
OK, can he perform at his best then?
Yes.
You? Yes?
Yeah.
Craig?
No.
No?
Okay. I just don't think if you don't like your manager, you can't play for your manager. I just don't think you'll ever get...
OK.
You won't get your top performance out.
Good one, that. Fifth and final trend, Joe. What you got for us?
Fifth and final trend is all about Conor Hourihane. Now, we're throwing this back to 2014 first, where Craig Taylor tweeted the following. Good article, mate. This is when Conor was at Plymouth Argyle, by the way. You're Argyle's best player. No danger, but the Premier League, really, there's ambitions and then there's reality.
Wow.
Craig sent that in 2014.
Is that guy a Villa fan, by the way?
He is a Villa fan.
Yes.
Yeah, that's context.
Wait for the next one.
And Conor, this week, found that tweet and said, "Hi, Craig. Remember this tweet back in 2014? I always remember it to this day. Ironically, you're a Villa fan who I made my debut with. Never tell anyone they can't achieve something, Smithy."
Boom, mic drop. Do you reckon Craig was at the game as well with Conor Hourihane chanting his name with Hourihane on the back?
On the back of his shirt. Yeah. Those Villa fans were pretty loud, to be fair. But I want to know, can Villa stay in the league this season? Will they stay up?
Craig, you were at the game? Played well, didn't they, first off? Can they stay up, do you think?
I mean, from what I saw, I think they can. You know, Dean Smith, good manager, and Jack Grealish, although he gave the ball away on the edge of the box, he's going to have a fantastic season, I think.
Agreed.
I definitely think they can stay up, and they deserve to. They're a Premier League club, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Massive stadium, massive history. I think if they don't, it will be a travesty.
Especially how much money they spent.
Yeah.
I think
That as well,
that
as well,
summer,
yeah.
140 plus million. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I think they'll be okay. The league's tough, you know. You kind of work it out towards winter. You start seeing who's had a run of defeats or who's had a run of wins. I suppose something like that is what's going to keep you in or out of the Premier League. So I think they'll just about survive.
Yeah, I think there's definitely three worse
If they do
teams.
survive, like you said, they're a Premier League club. They'll stay for a while. They won't be go back down like what Huddersfield were, where they stayed up by the skin of their teeth, and then it was obvious quite soon that they were going to. I think Villa have the fan power and the money to maintain it if they do stay up.
Yeah, so we're all in agreement.
All in agreement with that?
Yeah,
I think Villa are going to stay
I
up.
think they'll definitely stay. I was very impressed with them. So that is a clean sweep. Perfect way to end this section. Well done, Joe.
Nice one,
Enjoyed
Chris.
that.